Hello everyone, welcome to a sort of semi-impromptu, kind of cosy, kind of chaotic and unplanned reading vlog. I've been wanting to do this reading vlog for a while and the opportunity arose. Amy, my wonderful fiance, she and I have different work schedules for the first time in a while, and I thought I would take this time that I now have, and instead of being like, I'm not seeing Amy, I could instead read some books. And I've been wanting to do a little Inklings reading vlog for ages, so that's what we're going to do. So Inklings are a series of non-fiction books by a publisher called 404, I think that is the name, yes, 404 Inc. Is the publisher. I have read one Inkling before, and it was called, if I can remember the title, Love That Journey for Me, and it was about the TV show Schitt's Creek, which I love very, very dearly. And I just think this is such a fun idea for a book, to have very niche topics and a tiny little book about them. And so I funded the Kickstarter. I was a backer for the Kickstarter for the most recent set of Inklings, and I bought some back catalogue Inklings as well. So I've got 5 unread Inklings, and I'm going to see how many I can read over the next couple of days. So first of all, I'm going to take you through my little pile. We're going to talk about them all, and then as I read them, I will let you know what I think. So top of the pile, and it's no surprise why this is a priority, is We're Falling Through Space, Doctor Who and Celebrating the Mundane by J. David Reed. Doctor Who is back. It is back this weekend. I am so excited. So excited for Doctor Who to be back. And with David Tennant and with Catherine Tate and Russell T Davies. So excited. So this is my official non-fiction book for the month. If this is the only one I read, I'll be happy. And it is, as it says on the tin, it's about Doctor Who and how everyday life and the mundane is celebrated through sci-fi. We love to see it. So I haven't decided what order I'm going to read the rest in. I know this one will be first. So I'm just going to go through the stack. So we have BFFs, The Radical Potential of Female Friendship by Anahit Baruz. This is the cover for that one. I don't think it would be any surprise that I would be interested in this one. Female friendship, feminism, women supporting women. I love it. Of course I'm going to love this. So yeah, I'm just really intrigued to have like a little mini deep dive into female friendships. And that's what I kind of love about the concept of these books is, sometimes a non-fiction book can feel either daunting or too dragged out when there's not actually enough on the topic to fill a whole book. So I like the idea of being like, here is 100 pages on a topic. Great idea. So next one, carrying on with the sci-fi film sci-fi film. You can tell I'm filming this at past midnight. This is The Loki Variations by Carl Johnson. Having said that, I have not yet watched season 2 of Loki. But I think this is not necessarily about the MCU, and this book predates season 2 of Loki. So there wouldn't be anything I'd be missing in the book. But this book is not just about the MCU, but is also about Norse mythology and Loki in popular culture, which fascinating. And again, it kind of taps into my interest in queer characters and gender fluidity and how gender is represented in different cultures. And I think Loki is a really interesting example of that, to see how the character has been presented differently in different environments. Apologies for any frame change. The camera cut out, but we're back. So the next one is actually by 3 authors, and it's called Whatever Next on Adult Adoptee Identities by Josephine J, Adeline Barra and Hannah Faven Smith. I find this a fascinating topic. I find adoption a fascinating topic. And I've read a couple of books recently from a parental perspective about adoption. And I have this one, and actually another arc, a fiction arc, but from the perspective of adoptees. I think it's really, really interesting. I really want to know more. about the impact that adoption can have on people, from whichever, as an adopter or an adoptee. Yeah, really, really interesting. So I am hoping to get to this one as well. And the last one is called Machine Readable Me by Zara Rahman. Now this one, okay, so the subtitle is The Hidden Ways Tech Shapes Our Identities, which, what a topic. What a topic. I'm obsessed already. It may surprise you to know, because I have a YouTube channel, it may surprise you to know that I am very wary of the way that tech influences our lives, the access that we give away to our lives, which is, again, ironic. And yeah, it's a topic that fascinates and scares me, especially with AI, with biometrics and things like that. So this one was an automatic pickup for me. Absolutely gotta read it. So very different topics. So yeah, that's 5 completely different little books, all on very niche non-fiction topics, all of which fascinate me. So like I said, we're going to start with Doctor Who, and then we're just going to work our way through the pile, and we're going to see how many I can read. I don't really have a set time limit for this challenge, but it's currently Thursday night. Well, really it's Wednesday morning. I would like this video to go up Thursday evening, and I've got most of the day off tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get through at least a few before then. So here we go. Let's read some books. I will let you know when I've finished the first book. And we'll have a little chat. We'll just go through them all. Here we go. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning and I've just finished with Falling Through Space. I really enjoyed reading it. It was pretty much all about new Doctor Who, so since 2005, which I was kind of happy about because I have not watched very much classic Who at all, so I was excited to read all about new Who. And it's structured, it's in like, well, 4 chapters with 2 little interlude chapters called Time and Relative Dimension in Space. So that was a really fun way to kind of structure it and kind of explore all those different themes. What I did really like is that, so I have very strong opinions about the different eras of Doctor Who, and definitely in recent weeks I've gone into deep dives of like video essays about why certain Doctor Who eras are better than others. And what I liked is that this made me reevaluate some episodes that are sort of written off because they weren't written by my favourite showrunner. So I'm glad that, like, I don't know, I feel like I have a new appreciation for some series of Doctor Who that I hadn't necessarily appreciated as much. I'm in the mood for something completely different now, so I'm going to read Whatever Next, which is the one about adult adoptees. And it's 3 essays, I think. I think each writer has written an essay. So I'm going to get stuck into these. And I also, so just as I was sitting down to film this, the doorbell rang. I have some book posts. I'm very excited for this book post. This is my December non-fiction read. It's so much bigger than I thought it would be, and I'm so excited. So as many of you will know, I love history, specifically Tudor and late medieval history, like that kind of Plantagenets, Tudor, Stuarts era. And I kind of been snoozing on this one, not gonna lie. I'd missed the hype running up to it. I think I got turned down on NetGalley for it, but it's out and I've got it. The Princess in the Tower. I love The Princess in the Tower. It's like, it's a 500-year-old murder mystery. What's not to love? More than 500 years old. Yeah. So, and I think from what I've heard, it's proved controversial on Twitter, but only because I keep being recommended things by like the official Richard III Society. So I'm very intrigued to read it. So this will be my December non-fiction book, but I don't know if I can hold off that long. Although December is only like a week away now. So yeah. So I'm gonna curl up with a cup of tea and read this one, and I will let you know after I've read it what I thought. So, I finished Whatever Next, and it was brilliant. Really, really brilliant. In many ways, this is exactly what I was expecting. It's what it says on the tin. It was stories and thoughts from real people's experiences of being adopted, specifically being adopted from China into the UK and the USA. And I hope that this is the start of more adoption-led stories. They kind of were specifically looking to break down stereotypes and tropes that we see around adoption, which varied from telling children how lucky they are to kind of hero stories or films where an adopted character goes on a journey to find their past and sort of unpacking all of those. Yeah, it was really, really brilliant. And I think a lot of the discussion I've seen online about adoptive identities and the ethics of adoption have been very all or nothing, very extreme opinions. And this was a very nuanced look at what it's like to be an adoptee. And it wasn't about the terrible things about adoption. It wasn't about the amazing joy of being adopted. It was just about people's lives and that specific part of their identities. And I really, really appreciated that. I thought it was fascinating and nuanced and sort of opens the door for those conversations. So because this one got me thinking about identity, I'm going to read this one next, which is Machine Readable Me, How Tech, the Hidden Ways Tech Shapes Our Identities. So yeah, this one kind of just felt like the right one to go for next. Like I said, very ironic that as someone who is fairly chronically online, I am fascinated and slightly paranoid about the way that tech shapes our identities. So we'll see how I feel after I read this. I have moved since I last updated you. I've also gained a blanket because it's very cold. So I'm going to sit in this armchair and read this book, and then I'm going to go out for the next one. I'm going to go out for lunch to read the next one. So I shall update you after I've read this one. I have finished Machine Readable Me, and as you can see, I've also actually got ready for the day. So this was not what I expected. For some reason, I thought it would be about sort of social media algorithms, but it was more about kind of government algorithms and the way biometrics are used. And it was fascinating. I loved it. So it was sort of talking about how the way that we're categorized and sorted into countries and ethnic groups and things like that is determined not by us but by government tick boxes. And it's a huge topic, and this was sort of an introduction to it. It did remind me of, what's the book called? I think it's Weapons of Mass Destruction. Very, very good book. That is about very similar things, kind of how algorithms and human-made computer programs exacerbate human bias, even though they are meant to eradicate human bias, that they actually make it worse. So yes, it was very, very good, very, very interesting. All sorts of things that may just go, oh no, surely we should be better than this by now. So another excellent Inkling. I am going to go out for lunch now because I have a free drink and a free slice of cake at Costa, so it'd be rude not to go to Costa. I think I'm going to read the Loki one next. I think I'm going to save this one for last. I think this is a save it to last sort of style. So I'll take both of them with me just in case. But I'm going to read the Loki Variations by Carl Johnson next of all. And yeah, I'm going to go and leave this flat. That is the plan. I'm back. I made the mistake of sitting down straight away, and I haven't moved since. So, I finished the Loki Variations, read the whole thing, and it was very enjoyable. It was sort of like more like a personal discussion of the different kind of Lokis, but you know what? I'm here for it. And I really liked how it kind of explored how Loki as a character can kind of be used as a blank canvas. You know, that people sort of project what they want him to be onto him in the different versions, not just in Marvel, but across other TV shows and other books and things. And there was more about the supernatural fandom than I thought there would be. And it was a semi-unpleasant throwback to my Tumblr days. So I have one more left to go, which is the BFFs one about the radical potential of female friendship. I was trying to read it backwards in the viewfinder and couldn't. I think I'm gonna have to read this tomorrow because I need to go to work in like 10 minutes for like 2 hours. But I won't have any time this evening, so this will be a tomorrow morning one. I shall read it first thing tomorrow morning and let you know what I thought. Good evening. It is Thursday evening, not Thursday morning, but still Thursday. And I have finished BFFs. This was another really fascinating read, and what I loved, what I wasn't really expecting, is how it approached the way that friendships are treated differently from romantic relationships when they are just as vital and crucial to our lives and our well-being. And it really just delved deep into that, using both real-life examples and examples from fiction. It also looked at the way that the way we think about friendships has evolved over time, which I thought was really interesting. So a fascinating read and a great final read for this little challenge. There we go. I've read all 5 of the Inklings that were on my list. If you've read any Inklings, these or others, then let me know what you thought, or if any of these intrigued you and you want to pick them up. And give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to see some more videos from me. And I'll see you next time. Ta-ra for now.